Hey, what is up guys, TheKnowee here, and in today's video we are going to be finishing up with our Unity tutorial for beginners, but do not be afraid guys, there are plenty more videos in the future that I am planning to give you guys. So, first things first though, we are going to do something with our coins, because well, they just kind of sit there and whenever we grab them, they just kind of disappear. And there's a lot we can do with these coins, right? If we were going for a Mario clone, you would grab them and then in the top left of our game, you would see a little coin and it says, you got 1 coin or whatever. Alright, we're going to do something different with our coins. We're going to make them a little bit more unique. And you can design your level around this uniqueness as much as you want. But in order to do that, we need to head to the code. So what do you think I'm going to be doing with our coins? Well, let's see. Let's try it out. Let's see what we can make. Alright, so I'm going to make a new integer, and I'm going to name it Super Jumps. Super Jumps. And initially, this is going to set it to 0 as an integer. And integers, if you remember, are whole numbers no matter what. They cannot be decimals, and they cannot be negative. So it's a whole number. Alright, then what we're going to do is down here in our collider, whenever we collide, we're going to want to add a super jump, right? So we're going to add a super jump, so we're going to do plus, plus, and what that says, every time you collide with a coin and destroy it, you're going to add 1 super jump. Well, that's pretty cool, but what exactly are we going to do? Well, in jump height, let's make it super jump, right? We're going to have him super jump, so let's make a float. We're gonna name it jump height. Okay, and we're gonna initialize this at, let's do 5. Now if you remember, right, oh, I can't do jump height, let's just do jump power. Jump power as is equal to 5. Actually, let's make it 7 because we're gonna want to be able to make our initial jump, right? Alright, and now what this is doing is we can actually replace jump power with this 7 here. So jump power. And basically what this is saying is now, hey, now that this jump power is here, we've initialized it. If jump height's true, we're going to set the jump power to 7, and now that works. But we're also going to add our super jump into the mix, so we're going to say if, alright, and then we're going to say super jumps is less than, or is greater than 0, right? So if it's 0, don't do anything. If it is not 0, then we're going to do something. We're going to set our jump power to times equals 2. Oh, I did an at, not times. Times, there we go. So basically what this is saying is initially, right, if we haven't touched a coin, we're going to have our jump power at 7, right? We're going to have a normal jump. But if we have 1 super jump, right, we're going to multiply our jump power. But we also need to take away a super jump. So we're going to say just super jumps minus minus. And now that says, okay, so every time you collect a coin, you're going to add a super jump. And then every time you jump, you're going to take away a super jump, but you're also going to make your jump power times 2. So it would be 14. That's a pretty big jump. So let's try that out, right? So let's head over here. Make sure you guys save up your code. So first things first, we got to actually make this jump. Ooh, too easy. Now that I've gotten a coin, I should be able to jump. Wow, that was a pretty awesome jump. I got another coin. Boom, I got another super jump. Bam. And then when I jump again, it's normal. I cannot super jump again. I still cannot double jump in the air. Boom, I got another coin. Bang. Now let's grab this final coin right here. Make it over to the end and jump. Nailed it. It's too easy. And then let's see if I can make it over here. Nope. Okay. But that's pretty cool. We actually made our coins able to make us have a super jump. And that's honestly what I really wanted to show you, right? We could have done anything with the coins, right? So as before, I could have had them give me some score, or maybe if you accumulate enough, they give you like an extra life, right? So we go on a life basis for our little player, he falls off, you can have them give you a life if you've collected enough of them. There are so many different things you can do with the game. And obviously, if you guys want to, you guys can continue designing your little pill jumper here. You guys can, you know, copy this and move it over. and do whatever the heck you want, but that's going to be it for this little segment, right? It's not the greatest game, but it's still a working game. Whenever I press the play button, I can control my character, I can jump, and my objective is to reach the end. My camera follows him. Oh, look, the coins give me a special power when I touch them. Boom. So I'm going to jump. I'm going to grab this coin. Oh, I didn't grab it. Grab it. I'm also going to grab this coin. Boom. And I'm going to grab this coin. And then we're going to make it over here. Bang. Made it. And that's just it, right? So even though it's not like the greatest of games, it's still a working game. We have an objective. We have a player. We can move. We can see where we're going. We have a challenge, which is getting over the gaps. It may not be the greatest game, but it's still something to do. And of course, there will be much, much more than just this, obviously. But this is obviously just the beginning. I want to get your feet wet with everything that is a possibility. There's no point in me going towards end like greater than this, right? You know, there's no point in me teaching you how to design a character, how to really enhance his movement, what are raycasts, you know, like there's no point in me teaching you what the heck a raycast is right now, because that is more of an intermediate thing, right? Where I'm not going to teach you how to do that, when right now you need to learn the basic steps, how to create a block, or how to create something in the game, right? Or how to make a level, how to set a player, how to make him move, how to make a script for him to move, right? There's no point in me getting to the advanced part if you do not know how to simply make a basic game. Yeah, it's not the greatest game in the world, but it's still a step in the right direction. And if you're a real game creator and you want to take those steps, you're going to be willing to learn all of the basic stuff first and then take those steps. Also, you're going to be very committed to a lot of time, right? With game design, right, it is a lot of playtesting. Whenever we were making our game, I playtested quite a bit to make sure it was not only was it completable, but the things I've implemented worked, right? You know, when I made him move, when I made him jump, do the coins work when I grabbed them? You know, did they destroy initially? Now do they add my super jump when I, you know, grab them? And there's still so much to add, right? And let's say you're not a pro, right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm a professional game creator. I can tell you the ins and outs and how to make this game, right? No, sometimes I have to head over to good old Google. I have to use my search engine and be like, oh, all right, how do I code this, right? So like, let's say I wasn't quite sure how to set the rigid body component, right? I could go over to Unity. They have a wonderful documentation of all of the coding needs you'll ever need, and I'll do my research. And that's just it. You got to be willing to commit the time. There will be hundreds, maybe even thousands of hours to making a really cool game, right? I'm working on another game, and it's an RPG game, and I've already committed probably at least a few hundred hours to that game, and it's still not even the coolest game in the world. Here, let me show you. So in here, this is my RPG that I've been making. Obviously, this is very, very advanced, and of course, this is nowhere near everything that's in this, as you guys can see. Let's scroll over here in our project. Let's scroll this up a bit. We have a lot going on here, right? We have our audio, we have the game, where we have the characters, the weapons, the UI, what is going on with the projectiles, right? There's materials still. Of course, I don't have very many materials. They're all up here in the asset packs stuff that I have going on in here. We have the scenes, we have the scripts, and there's tons of scripts going on in here. We have the cinematics, combat, control, core, movement. There's a ton of scripts going on in here, right? And this is something that you can look forward to, you know. In this game, what can I do? I can run around. I have a UI telling me how much health I have, how much health an enemy has when I click on them. I have cursors. When I move over this, I can collect it. I can shoot fireballs at this guy, but he also shoots something back at me, right? There's still so much to this game. I have damage taken. I gain experience when he dies. I can't go in certain areas, right? I can't go over here in what is a river, right? I can't go into the river. You know, there's working AI, right? When I walk up to this guy, he comes up and attacks me, and I can attack him right back. They all have different health. There's still so much to this game, and even a cooler thing, right? If I come over here, boom, I teleport to a different area, right? There's still so much, right? I'm walking on a working terrain. Like, when I come back, these guys are still dead. They're not respawned in, right? There's still so much to gaming, right? As we've made, it's just a simple 2D platformer, right? That's great. It's a step in the right direction. I wouldn't expect you to create this, right, with hundreds of scripts, with lots of detail going into it, with a lot of explaining right on your first day. There is no way you're going to be able to do that, right? I'm not going to tell you, hey, on your first day, we're going to make a working, moving character where I use my mouth to move him around, right? I'm not using my keyboard at all. My keyboard is completely exempt from this, right? And here's an even cooler thing with this. This is an intermediate thing. We have cinematics. We have an actual working cinematic, right? And I can't move over here while I'm in the cinematic. No matter how much I click, my guy's gonna still be over in that little bridge I made. And this isn't even the finished project. This is a work in progress build, right? And there's still so much to add. There's so much to explore. No matter how hard you try, right? There's still going to be bugs, like sometimes, and play testing and hours of commitment to making this game work, right? And that's just it. In the end, you have to be committed to a lot of time, right? Yeah, this isn't the craziest thing in the world, right? We have a terrain, we got some characters, we got some enemies, we have cinematics. That's still a lot. Yeah, maybe this isn't a title A game, but it's still a lot going on, right? And there's still a lot of moving parts and a lot of things to learn. And this isn't even the top of the scale, right? This isn't even close to anything that could be done in gaming, right? As you guys know, if you've played any AAA like Gears of War, Halo, Call of Duty, right? There's still so much, right? Even though right now what we're doing is a little pill jumping from point A to point B, and then when he collects a coin, he can super jump, right? Yeah, that's not the coolest in the world, but that's still a lot of amazing stuff that you've been able to do, right? You've been able to overcome being starting from nothing, from having nothing in your scene to having blocks, to having a player, to making the player move, to learning how to make him not stick to surfaces, to making him jump, to making him collect coins, to making those coins do something, right? To making the camera follow our player. That's still a lot. That's still an amazing amount of stuff that you've done. So don't sell yourself short just because, well, I didn't do much, right? You've actually done quite a bit. In this Unity tutorial, I've taught you a lot, the fundamentals, the game making fundamentals, and from here is just infinite possibility. And I just want you to know, your game will eventually turn into something like this, where you have a animated character running around, right? So we have a animated character where he can run around. There he is, right? We have him, he has an animation, so that's what all this stuff is down here. And we have him running around, he fights, he has an animation to punch stuff, he has an animation to deal damage to stuff. There's so much going on here, right? And this is only just a little bit further up the mountain. So if you guys are excited to get to a point where you can make 3D games with working characters, make sure you guys stick. This will be a lot later because I still have so much to teach you in the beginning. But I hope you guys are excited. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a teaser into something that you could make. Obviously, we're going to be getting a lot more advanced from here. But if you guys are excited, make sure you guys subscribe and tune in. Make sure you guys like the video. Tell all of your friends who are also getting into Unity to come over here, get their feet wet with Unity. And if you guys are ready to go on a journey and learn even more, I'm going to be making another series going a little bit deeper. We're going to be making a clone of a game. I'm not going to tell you what kind of a clone. You'll have to go in and tune in. But we're going to be making a clone of a game. And if you guys are excited, make sure you guys tune into the next video I make. And as well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for beginners. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.